You're good. All right, y'all are free to start.
Please state your appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Isa Kidwai. Today I'm joined by Hank Standard,
Good morning.
Avon French,
Good morning.
and Jonathan Fredericks.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Together, Your Honor, we represent the plaintiff in today's trial, Ms. Eleanor Bully. Constructively, she'll be with us at council table today.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Jack Goldstein. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Mr. Jimmy Fraley. Good morning. Mr. Antiosa Agboma.
Morning, Your Honor.
And Mr. Carson Hull.
Good morning.
Together, we represent the defendant in today's case, Mr. Tristan Nichols, who will also be joining us constructively at council table.
Okay, great. I don't know if we do any pretrial stuff in this jurisdiction.
Yes, Your Honor, we do just have a few brief matters.
Okay. Plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor. First, we'd like to draw your attention to a relevant precedent in this case. It's going to be on page 1. Today, we're representing Ms. Bully in a lawsuit regarding the violation of her prenuptial agreement with the defendant. We're going to be looking at a case law that sets a relevant precedent in that regard. It's going to be Kim versus Guarini Moraldi on the first page of that case law tab. Your Honor, what this precedent outlines is that in this jurisdiction, a prenuptial agreement can be invalidated if there is a contained infidelity clause that is violated by the defendant. We also like to note for the record that the defendant has admitted there was an infidelity clause contained within his prenuptial agreement with Mrs. Bully.
Okay.
That's our understanding of that case as well, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else from plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor, if we could direct Your Honor's attention to the stipulations, looking at stipulation 8.
Okay.
It just states that both parties have agreed to waive any and all objections arising under relevance and Rule 403 for all witnesses testifying in today's trial.
All right. Anything else?
That's it from us, Your Honor.
Okay, defense?
Just one matter from the defense, Your Honor. If I could point your attention to stipulation 17. This just says that exhibits 1 and 2 are both pre-admitted. This is the prenuptial agreement and the financial disclosure, respectively.
Then they will be admitted. Anything else?
That's all from the defense, Your Honor. We're ready to go.
Okay. Plaintiffs, you ready with your opening?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Proceed whenever you're ready.
May it please the court. When you break your promise, you pay the price. It's July of 2022. People are filing into a wedding hall for the wedding of the decade. Billionaire Tristan Nichols, the defendant, is getting married to my client, Miss Ellie Bully. This is what all the months of dating lead up to. All the late nights out, all the texts back and forth, every I love you comes to that moment when you're walking down the aisle and you say those words, I do. That's a promise. It's a promise for better or worse in sickness and in health. It is a promise to be faithful. And as you can guess by the setting we're in today, it's a promise you'll find out the defendant broke. That's why you're here today. Because you'll find out that these two people, they had a prenup. In that prenup, they agreed the defendant gets to keep his property in the event of a divorce as long as he doesn't cheat. The law says that if he breaks that promise, well, he has to pay the price. That deal, it goes up in smoke. That's what we're going to prove to you here today. We're going to prove that to you by a preponderance of the evidence. All that means is this case can be decided by one word, one photo, a tip of the scales against the defendant. Means that you have to find him liable. But we're not just going to send you flying in blind today, members of the jury. We're going to call a couple of witnesses up to this stand to help you out. First, you're going to get to hear from the person he was cheating with. That's right, I know in cases like these, we don't usually have that person. We don't usually have the other woman on the stand, but today we do. Miss Gail Melky will admit to the affair. She'll tell you about all the secrets they kept, all the trips they took, all the things that they were hiding from Ellie, Bully. Then you're going to get to hear from his personal assistant, and it's not going to be that different of a story. You're going to hear evidence that corroborates everything that the other woman just said. What Miss Euxie Lee is going to tell you is about all those business trips he came back from smelling like another woman's perfume. The hickeys that he had on his neck, and a wedding ring buried in the bottom of his bag. But the defense, they might try to get up here and tell you, that cheating, it just never happened, despite the witnesses that heard about it. They might try to tell you that this 4-year-long relationship wasn't a real relationship at all. Believe it or not, we see all types of things in court. But we trust that you know that this case is simple. This case is about a promise that he made, a promise many of us here have kept, and the price you have to pay when you break it. That's why at the end of today's trial, we'll ask you to find the defendant liable. Thank you.
Opening from the defense. May it please the court. This marriage was all for the cameras. Members of the jury, there's a few things both sides agree on. Everyone agrees the plaintiff, Eli Bully, and the defendant, Tristan Nichols, were married. Everyone agrees they signed a prenuptial agreement, and everyone agrees that prenuptial agreement said Mr. Nichols can't cheat. But a few moments ago, members of the jury, Mr. French got up here and he told you a story about their relationship. He said there were texts back and forth. He said they would say, "I love you" to each other, but the problem, members of the jury, you won't see any of those texts today. You won't see any evidence they said, "I love you" to each other, because this marriage, it wasn't a normal marriage. It wasn't the type of marriage you'd find in a rom-com or a Hallmark movie. It was something called a contract marriage. A contract marriage is just a marriage not based on love or other genuine feelings. And the reason that fact is important is because in this jurisdiction, the law is clear. If this marriage was a contract marriage, then it doesn't matter whether or not an affair happened, because in a contract marriage, any cheating doesn't invalidate that prenuptial agreement. So the only thing that matters in this case, what you're here to decide, is whether or not that was a contract marriage. And that's why we've taken on something called an affirmative defense. We also have a burden of proof in this case. It was our job to prove to you by a preponderance of the evidence that that marriage was actually a contract marriage. And the reason you can be sure of that fact is because this marriage was all for the cameras. To help you out, to prove that, we'll call 2 witnesses to the stand today. First, you'll hear from Eli Bully's lifelong friend, Ash Sanders. He'll tell you, Eli described their marriage as a contract. You'll learn both Eli and Tristan benefited from that marriage, that the two were more like business partners than husband and wife. And next, we'll call the cameraman himself, Mr. Noresh Sullivan. He's a photographer, a nice guy, an all-around family man, and he'll tell you, he was hired to sell that relationship. How he would stage photos of the couple buying furniture, buying a house, even though they never did any of those things. The evidence will show. The couple would stage engagements and arguments just to sell their fake relationship as a real one. Now, a few moments ago, we heard about the witnesses the plaintiff plans to call to the stand today. And today you'll also learn about those witnesses, and you'll hear they have two things in common. One, they're here for a reason other than the truth, and two, because of that, they can't be trusted. I mean, you'll hear from Uxie Lee, that personal assistant. You'll learn that Uxie Lee doesn't care about telling the truth or being honest, but instead cares more about money. In fact, when Uxie Lee gets up here to testify, listen carefully to what she claims. Because by the end of this trial, I expect you'll find massive holes in each and everything she tells the members of this jury. They'll also call Gail Melky in just a few moments. You'll learn, just like the plaintiff's other witness, Gail Melky also cannot be trusted. The evidence will show that Miss Melky isn't here because she wanted to tell the truth, but instead because of a deranged vendetta against Mr. Nichols. Members of the jury, at the end of the day, this case is simple. If you believe the plaintiff's own best friend and the cameraman who made it all happen, if you believe this marriage was just for the cameras, if you believe it was a contract marriage, members of the jury, you must find for the defense. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Plaintiff, please call your first witness when you're ready.
Yes, Your Honor. Plaintiff calls Gail Melky.
You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Could you introduce yourself to the jury?
Sure. Good morning. I'm Gail Melky.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Lubbock, Texas, but I moved to Murado in middle school.
What do you do for work?
I want to act. That'd be the dream, right? But it's hard to get cast in anything that pays, honestly, so I'm between jobs right now.
Ma'am, I want to address something right here, right now.
Okay.
Do you have a deranged vendetta against the defendant, Tristan Nichols?
No, I don't.
Do you know Tristan Nichols?
I do.
How long have you known him?
Since we were kids, our parents did business together.
Back then, what was your relationship like with the defendant?
We were friends, but I'm gonna be honest, I always kind of had a crush on Tristan. He was kind to me. We dated for a little when we got older.
How'd that go?
Not as I hoped. I really liked Tristan, but I think I liked him a lot more than he liked me.
Well, how long did that relationship with the defendant last?
About a year and a half, until Tristan met Ellie Bully.
Do you know how the two met?
We were on a date, some gala. Ellie bumped into me, spilled some wine on my dress, and I was pretty embarrassed. I looked to Tristan for help, but he couldn't keep his eyes off Ellie. They were together the rest of the night.
What happened in your relationship after the two of them met?
Tristan stopped talking to me, started canceling our date, stopped answering my text. Finally, he ended things. Said that he had fallen in love. I never heard Tristan say he loved me before.
Did you see him again after that?
Not for another 3 years, maybe. We bumped into each other at a movie preview, and I tried to walk away, but Tristan came up to me, hugged me, asked me how it'd been.
What happened next?
We walked around, went to a few bars, talked about anything, everything, movies, art, what we were like as kids, what our ideal life was. He teased me because I snort when I laugh, and I teased him because he wanted to be a DJ when he was little. It reminded me why I liked him all those years ago.
Did you keep in touch after you reunited that night?
Yeah, we talked all the time. Tristan would text me, ask me how my day was, send me something, told me he was thinking about me.
I mean, how would you feel when the defendant would say those things to you?
I was so damn happy. I realized that I had loved him for years, and I still did.
Did you ever meet in person?
Only when Ellie was gone. We'd go on coffee dates. It started out small at first, but and at that point I could still excuse it.
Man, you said it started out small at first. Did anything change in your relationship?
He told me he wanted to see me more. Started taking us on these big weekend trips together.
Would you tell anybody about these trips with the defendant?
No, we take Tristan's private jet. Made sure no one saw us.
Where would you go?
Everywhere. Milan, Prague, but our favorite place, it was this little lake house outside the city. It's where we kissed for the first time.
Ma'am, did you know that he was still married to Ellie Bully at the time?
I did.
Did you think that was okay?
No, I knew I was the other woman, and I told myself at first that it was harmless, but I was lying. It was really easy to forget when I was with Tristan, but I knew it was wrong, and I knew what we were doing was wrong.
Then why'd you keep seeing him?
Because I loved him. I loved him so much that I would lie, and I would hide, and I would do anything he wanted me to.
Did he ever say he felt the same way?
He told me he did. On New Year's last year. He told me he loved me. That he was gonna leave Ellie for me, that he wanted to get married.
Ma'am, how did you react when the defendant said he wanted to marry you?
I trusted him. I thought that he was gonna divorce Eli and propose to me, and we could live a life together. I've been so stupid now.
Why?
Next morning, all these tabloids came out saying that someone had seen us together. And I called Tristan. I called and I texted over and over, hoping that things would still be okay, that we could still get married.
Did he ever respond?
No, he never did.
Do you understand that we're in court today because Tristan Nichols and Eli Woolley are seeking a divorce?
Of course. Yeah, of course I know. I know it's all my fault, and I swore that I would never be the other woman in someone's relationship. I swore I would never be that person, and it was all for nothing. And I'm so sorry, Ellie. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Melky.
Sure.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination. Ma'am, you seem pretty sad up there. This isn't the first time you've performed for an audience, is it?
No, like I said, I'm trying to be an actor.
You're an actor, right?
I am.
It's your job to tell stories, right?
Sure, I'm in a few toothpaste commercials. Right.
Ma'am, let's talk a little bit about why you're telling this one. Because it's true that you actually don't like my client very much, do you?
No, not after what Tristan did to me.
Let's go back a couple of years before when Mr. Standard started.
Sure.
The two of you dated, right?
That's right. We were together for about a year and a half.
You loved him, didn't you?
I did.
He didn't love you back.
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Response, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is rationally based off of the witness's perception. If I could proffer.
Sure.
Your Honor, embedded in her affidavit, she has statements about the fact that she can tell that Mr. Nichols wasn't particularly interested in her. There was a number of behavior that he displayed that showed that. That's what we're asking. It's rationally based on her perception.
Okay, could you just break down the question a little bit, lay some foundation?
Yes, Your Honor, sure.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, let's talk a little bit more about what Mr. Nichols thought about you. Because the two of you would go to dinner, right?
We would.
You'd sit there, you'd be wanting to have a conversation with him, true?
Yeah, I'd talk to Tristan and he would just sit scrolling on his phone.
That's right. He never showed a particular interest in you, right?
No, and I tried to get him to for years.
And then he told you why, true?
Yeah, one night he got real drunk off this bottle of Merlot, told me that he was just with me because his parents.
Ma'am, let's talk about that. He said that he only wanted to be in a relationship with you because of his parents, right?
Objection. Hearsay.
Response, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, these are the statements of a party opponent in this case. It's not hearsay under 801D2.
Response.
One response.
Your Honor, they can only offer statements of the opposing party. They're offering statements of their own party. That exemption doesn't apply here.
Response, Your Honor?
Last one.
The exemption applies in civil cases.
Okay, I'm just gonna exclude this over, sustained.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. But ma'am, it's true that in your conversations with Mr. Nichols, you can tell that he wasn't particularly interested in you, right?
That's right.
And then he dumped you.
Yeah, Tristan met Ellie, told me they were in love, and then I was left behind.
That's a yes to my question. He dumped you, right?
That's right.
Told you he didn't want to be in a relationship anymore, right?
Not with me.
Ma'am, after he dumped you, you were humiliated, weren't you?
I was. I felt real embarrassed. I'd been pining after him for years, and just to be left, that's right.
Ma'am, every time that you would have an interaction with people, they only knew you as my client's ex, right?
That's right. It's real hard for me.
Ma'am, you couldn't get any acting gigs anymore, could you?
Not after it came out that Tristan and I were having an affair.
You couldn't get any acting gigs, could you?
That's right.
That was after Mr. Nichols dumped you, right?
That's right.
Your parents, they cut you off, didn't they?
Yeah, after Tristan broke up with me, like I said, they were business partners and they weren't too happy with me, so they cut me off.
Now, Mr. Standard, he asked you a question. He said, ma'am, you don't have a deranged, you don't want to get deranged revenge on Mr. Nichols, right? That's what he asked.
He asked me if I had a deranged vendetta.
Ma'am, in your words, not mine, you want revenge against Mr. Nichols, right?
I do. I want to expose what happened. That's right.
Ma'am, you want revenge against my client, right?
That's right.
Let's talk about how you're getting it. Because today you're testifying for these people over here, true?
That's right. I got a letter in the mail. Said I had to come in and be here.
Ma'am, you're testifying against my client, right?
That's right.
Testifying against the person who you said you wanted revenge on, right?
That's right. I was subpoenaed. I had to be here.
Ma'am, have you ever heard the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words?
Yeah, it's a big phrase in the acting biz. Sure.
Do you have any?
No, Tristan and I made sure to never take any pictures together.
You don't have a single picture of you and my client together, not one.
No.
Ma'am, you said you went to Milan, Prague. Those are nice places. You don't have a picture of you sitting in Italy, right?
No, Tristan said that it would be real bad for him if people knew we were together, so we made sure to never take any pictures.
You said you were sitting in a private jet. You don't have any single pictures of you and my client sitting in a private jet together, do you?
No, sir, like I said, we never took any.
Okay, not pictures. What about text messages? Do you have any of those?
No, I don't.
What about, I don't know, call logs? Do you have any of those?
No, sir, I deleted them all.
Ma'am, do you have any physical evidence that you were actually in this affair that you've been telling the jury about?
No, sir.
You don't have any physical evidence.
That's right.
All we have to take is your word.
I guess so, sure.
Again, the word of a person who wants revenge against my client.
Objection.
Right.
Asked and answered.
Sustained. Move on.
Ma'am, you want revenge?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Sustained. Move on.
Nothing further.
Okay. Are you done with this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. There's no redirect. Can she step down?
Yes. You may. My understanding the defense calls a witness this time. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, the defense is gonna call a witness and then we'll call a rebuttal witness following that.
Okay, great.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, we call Ash Anderson to the stand. May we proceed?
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Please introduce yourself.
Okay. Salam, everyone. It's nice to meet you. My name is Ash Sanders.
What do you do for a living?
I work in the service industry. Over the years, I've worked a bunch of different jobs. Started off with food service, then moved to retail, and now I do event managing and moving. And maybe if you were lucky, I drove Uber back in the day. I might have driven you too. It's a peculiar list of jobs, but it helps pay the bills.
Sir, why are you here?
Ellie Bully and we grew up together. But now you sent me a letter in the mail and said I have to be here and testify against her. I just have to answer your questions, is what I understand.
Let's go back to the very beginning. How do you know Ellie?
Well, as I mentioned, we grew up together. We both used to live on the east side of Morado by Lennox Park.
What was that like?
Well, if you know anything about the area, you know it doesn't have the best reputation. But it was okay, you know. Both of us, we tried to make the best of the situation, especially Ellie. You know, she was always the more positive one between the two of us. She had this big dream of becoming a huge painter in the city, and somehow she always just knew she was going to make it out.
What was your relationship like?
Ellie's my best friend. You know, she's amazing. And I really mean that, you know, there's no one else like her, serious. And then in high school, I also kind of realized I had a crush on her, you know, so it was a good time.
Did anything happen between the two of you after high school?
No, no, unfortunately not. After high school, I had to start applying for jobs. Couldn't really go to college. I had to help my family out. And Ellie, she wanted to go to art school, so she actually flew across to the other side of the country to do that. Fortunately, it didn't work out for her though. She couldn't pay for it anymore, so she ended up coming back, which was horrible. I wanted it to go well for her, but selfishly, I also have to admit I was happy to have her back.
Why?
So we could spend time together. You know, growing up, we used to do everything. Watch movies, watch the sports games every now and then. She's a big Falcons fan. And occasionally a wine night here and there. So having her back now in the city meant we could just pick up where we left off. Of course, that was before she met Tristan Nichols.
Sir, can you tell the jury who Tristan Nichols is?
Oh, of course. Yeah, sorry. Tristan Nichols, he's a big businessman here in the city. You might have already heard the name. His family owns a big food and beverage company here in the city. They sell almost everything.
What was Eli and Tristan's relationship like?
They started as friends, you know, normal, hang out every now and then. But then one day, Ellie told me that they'd also started dating.
What do you think of that?
I was jealous. You know, growing up, people like Ellie and I, we didn't really hang out with the likes of a Tristan Nichols, so I kind of didn't like it. But also, you know, the relationship, it just didn't make sense to me to begin with.
What do you mean by that?
You know, Ellie's always been someone who's worked hard. You know, passionate about art, wanted to make it big, but she was also a very private person. You know, her idea of the best night at home was cup of wine in hand,
Objection at
watching.
this time to speculating as to her idea of the perfect night.
Response, Your Honor?
Sure.
We've already laid the foundation that the two of them are best friends. They lived together for a brief period of time. They're very close. He can testify to the kind of night that she would like to have it.
Fast response.
Yes, Your Honor, he can testify to what she did frequently, not to what her idea of the perfect night was.
Sustained rephrase.
Yes, Your Honor, motion to strike that question.
Sure.
Sir, you were just talking a little bit about Tristan Nichols. Can you tell us a little bit more about the relationship with Eli?
It was extremely public. You know, everything they did together, it was out in the open, and they had paparazzi just following them. I never understood it.
Sir, were you aware whether or not Eli was happy?
She wasn't. You know,
Objection, Your Honor, wants to get to speculation.
Response, Your Honor?
Sure.
If I could proffer?
Yeah.
Your Honor, the witness is about to lay testimony on the record that goes to why he believed this. That supports that it's his rationally based perception of this. Your Honor, and the question that I used was, do you know if Eli was happy or not? He's about to talk about why he believed Eli was happy or not happy. It's not speculation.
Overruled.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know if Eli was happy or not?
She wasn't, no. You know, I remember so many times after her dates with Tristan, she would come to my place, sit on the couch, and she would tell me things. She would just start complaining, said that dating him, it was like work. Going to these events, being outside, it was all just work.
What changed?
She finally became famous. Her art got picked up. It started being shown across galleries. I was happy for her, for sure, but then she also told me just a couple months after that she decided that she was going to get engaged to Tristan.
Did Tristan and Eli's relationship change after his artwork became famous?
Not really, no. I mean, I didn't see as much of them at the time, but from what I could tell, it was still the same.
Then I want to talk a little bit more about the engagement. Did Eli give you any details about it?
She did. You know, she told me that this relationship of hers, it was like a contract. That she knew what she was getting out of it.
Did you ask him about it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I didn't understand what she meant. I mean, you don't really say that about someone you're engaged with, someone you love. So I asked her. She just said that she knew that this marriage, it was going to get her the connections and opportunities she needed in order to make her artwork big.
How do you reckon he told you that?
I didn't say anything. You know, I didn't know how to feel. I just stayed silent and I listened to her complain.
Sir, but why?
Because I loved her. You know, up until this point, everything that happened with the art, I was so happy. I was so happy for her, but it just meant I didn't have time to see her anymore. She was too busy. So now that she was telling me that she was going to get married, I thought that I was going to lose her forever. And I mean, I kind of get it. I know why she would never look at someone like me.
Objection, Your Honor, once again to speculation as to him knowing why she wouldn't look at him.
Response, Your Honor, he's not making a definitive claim about her mind state. He's talking a little bit about the nature of their relationship and why he understands the possibility of somebody else not wanting to be with him because of himself. He's not actually going to her mind state.
Response?
I'm just gonna overrule, but this is going a little generative, so just make sure he answers the questions that you ask.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Sir, you were talking a little bit about your relationship. Can you expand?
Our relationship started changing. I didn't get to see much of Ellie anymore. And, you know, it made sense why she would choose someone like Tristan over me.
Did the two of them get married?
They did. They did sometime in August of 2022. I didn't go. I couldn't bear it.
So during their entire relationship, while they were dating, before they got engaged, when they got married, did Eli ever tell you that she loved Mr. Nichols?
No. You know, every time we talked about it, every time we discussed the relationship, never once did she mention that she loved him.
Thank you, sir. Nothing further.
Ross,
Yes, Your Honor.
you may proceed.
Sir, you understand what it means to be biased, right?
Sure?
You know that in this trial, you could be considered biased if you had a stake in the outcome of this case.
I don't know how the law or the stuff works. I'm sorry, it's my first time here.
That's all right, sir. Let's see if we can figure it out together, all right?
Okay?
Because the truth is that you actually care about how much money Miss Woolley has in her bank account.
Sure, yeah.
That's because for years, you've been using her finances to control her.
No, not at all.
Well, hold on, sir. You've known her for decades, true?
That's right.
You knew her back when she was broke.
Of course, we both grew up together in the same environment. I've known her my whole life.
You knew her back when she was desperate for money.
Sure, yes.
Mr. Sanders, I want to talk about what you did when you knew that Miss Woolley was desperate for money. Sir, you tried to prostitute her.
No, I didn't.
It's your testimony that you did not make an account for her on an escort website?
I made the account, yes, but it was her idea. She asked me to do it. I didn't pitch it out.
Hold on, sir. She made a joke about making an account, true?
That's right.
And then you actually went and made the account for her, true?
Yeah, she asked me. She followed up on the joke. That's how it started.
And then you waited until she was terrified of the messages that she was getting before you shut it down.
I didn't wait for anything. We both saw what was coming and we realized immediately it was a stupid idea. We stopped it immediately.
Sir, you shut down that account only after she was terrified, true?
That's right. I shut it down immediately.
Only after she was terrified, you offered to loan her the money yourself.
I've been loaning her money before then too. I always tried to pitch in. We both did. Growing up in that area, it was rough.
Sir, you know that at that point, she became dependent on you for money, right?
Sure, every now and then I'd help her out with her bills.
That made you feel important in her life.
Of course, we were friends.
Mr. Sanders, you stopped feeling important in her life when she married Rich.
Yes. We got further and further apart.
Sir, you weren't too happy that she picked a rich husband over you,
Yeah, especially with what she was telling me.
despite everything that you did for her. You couldn't understand why she wouldn't share some of that money with you.
I never asked for any money from her. Money was never important to me. I didn't understand why she was with him when she didn't love him.
Sir, it's your testimony that you weren't upset that Miss Woolley would not share her money with you?
Yes,
Sir, yes or no, you were hurt when she wouldn't share her money with you?
I was hurt when she wouldn't explain what she was doing and why she was explaining and going for this money, but I was never hurt that she wasn't sharing it with me.
Sir, despite everything that she did for you, you couldn't understand why she didn't love you.
Yes,
Sir,
I
despite
mean-
everything that you did for her, you couldn't understand why she looked happy with someone who wasn't you.
I didn't understand it at all because at first she didn't look happy.
Sir, did she look happy or not?
The first time when they first started dating? No, not at all. She told me that she was upset.
Sir, you believe that when they got married, she looked happy, true?
Yes,
You were
once
upset that that wasn't you.
Objection, Your Honor. I just asked that opposing counsel let the witness finish his response.
Just be a little bit nicer with this.
Yes, Your Honor. Sir, you were upset that she didn't look happy because she was marrying you.
Because she was marrying me? No, she never married me.
Exactly, sir, you weren't happy about that.
No, obviously not. I loved her.
Sir, you don't love her, you were obsessed with her.
No, I loved her. I wouldn't want to control her. I just wanted to support her the way that she best deserved it.
Sir, it's your testimony you don't want to control her?
Yes, of course.
You want her to lose this trial.
Look, I don't know what I want her to win or lose. All I know is that I love her.
Sir, yes or no, you want her to lose this trial.
Yes.
You want her to lose her money.
I want her to be out of this relationship with Tristan Nichols. He's
Sir,
the
yes
one
or
with the
no?
money.
You can finish.
Yes, he's the one with the money, and I don't think that he's right for her.
Sir, you want her to lose this trial so that she loses money.
Sure, yes.
You want her to lose money so that she comes crawling back to you.
I mean, if she can't be with him anymore, then maybe she comes back home and starts to be the way that she used to be, happy.
You want her to come crawling back to you, yes or no?
Sure.
Sir, you think if she comes crawling back to you, you'll be the only person she can depend on again?
No, I just want her to be happy. I don't want her to depend on me.
Sir, it's your testimony you don't want to be the only person she has to turn to?
I want to be a person she can turn to. I want her to be happy. I want to be there for her. I don't want to control her. I don't want her to be dependent on me.
Yes or no, sir, you want to be the only person that she has to turn to after she loses this trial?
Sure, I want to be there for her.
Sir, then let's talk about how the defendant is helping you make that happen, all right?
Okay,
Because you want the defendant to win this trial so Ms. Woolley loses that money, right?
sure.
That's why you actually met with the defendant personally before you prepared your testimony.
That's right.
Sir, when you met with the defendant personally, he told you about what kind of things you should talk about.
That's right. As I mentioned, I got a letter in the mail. It told me I had to be here. I've never done anything like this, so I went to him and I asked him how it works. He explained the process to me.
Sure, you went to him, you said, hey, I'm testifying in your trial, what do you want me to say?
No, I didn't say that.
Sir, that's when he told you not to talk about his affair.
No, that's not what happened.
All right, let's see what you did or did not talk about then on behalf of his attorney. Sir, you've heard the phrase, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right?
Yes, of course,
You'd recognize a picture of a woman named Gail Melky if I showed it to you, right?
I would.
Your Honor, at this time we're approaching opposing counsel with Exhibit 6. Approaching Your Honor with the same. Sir, if you could take that exhibit binder in front of you and flip to Exhibit 6SA.
Sure.
Your Honor, for the record, that's a picture of Gail Melky.
I'm there.
Sir, that looks like a picture of a woman named Gail Melky, true?
It does.
It's fair and accurate to your knowledge.
It is.
Hasn't been changed or altered in any way.
No.
Sir, you saw this picture fall out of the defendant. Your Honor, at this time we offer Exhibit 6.
Any objection?
Without objection, Your Honor.
Okay, admitted.
Sir, you saw this picture fall out of the defendant's wallet.
I have, yes.
It's a picture of a woman who is not the defendant's wife.
That's right.
So you didn't tell Miss Bully about it?
I didn't have the heart to tell her that was happening.
You didn't think to tell her about a picture of a woman who was not her in her husband's wallet?
That's right.
Sir, that's because you actually believe that you'd be willing to hide evidence of an affair. True?
No.
It's your testimony that you're
Time.
not willing? No further questions.
I think at this time, the judges are scoring these witnesses.
Yes, the judges can go ahead and barring any redirect.
Yeah, no, nothing further at this time, Your Honor. I guess they can go ahead whenever they're ready.
Great. You can be excused.
Thank you.
Judges are welcome to finish scoring these first two witnesses before we call the next one.
And fellow judges, just say thumbs up when you're done. Okay. Whenever y'all are ready, we can move on to the next witness.
The plaintiff calls Yuxi Lee to the stand.
Good morning, Your Honor.
May I proceed?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you introduce yourself to the jury?
Well, of course I can. Hiya, honeys. The legal name is Yuxi Lee, but you might recognize me as Miss Lee Ding.
Why the two names?
Well, have you ever heard of Rain down on 4th? Or Bob's on 7th? I'm seeing some blank stares. Yeah, I perform drag there every now and then. As you might have guessed, today's event. I'm actually headed to brunch right after this.
How'd you get into drag?
Well, I just went into the bathroom and put my makeup on.
Sorry, the profession. How did you get into the profession?
Oh, right. Sorry. I actually got in like most drag queens, unemployment.
Well, what was the last job you had?
Oh, well, I was the personal assistant to the Tristan Nichols.
Who's Tristan Nichols?
Yes. Well, he is the CEO of the Nichols Group.
What's the Nichols Group?
Well, let me ask you a question. What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
Breakfast sandwich?
He owns it. Yeah, the bread, the meat, even the plate, he owns all of it.
Well, what'd you do as his personal assistant?
Well, let me ask you another question. You ever heard of Monica Lewinsky? No, I'm just playing. I just did his paperwork, took his phone calls, set up meetings, handled his reputation, that kind of thing.
You said you handled his reputation.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I was in charge of setting up PR photo shoots for him and his new boo thing.
Who's that?
Well, Ellie Bully.
What do you mean you would set up photo shoots for them?
Well, when these big couples go public, they need a publicist, honey. I was in charge of organizing all of it.
What were Mr. Nichols and Miss Bully like in front of the cameras?
Oh, well, it was so sweet. Whenever they would go out in public, I was in charge of making sure that the paparazzi was there, for whenever they were holding hands, cozying up to each other, that kind of thing.
I want to see if we can figure out if this relationship was just for the cameras.
Okay.
What were they like behind closed doors?
Oh, well, Ellie, she would come into the office, bring Tristan, lunch in these little brown paper bags, had doodles all over it. It was so sweet, but it did make me very angry because I didn't know conjugal visits were allowed.
What else did you see between the two of them?
Oh, well, Tristan, he actually put Ellie's artwork all over the office, and poor girl, she does that modern art. Yeah, I had geometric people screaming at me the whole way down the hallway.
How would you say that relationship progressed?
Progressive? No, I wouldn't say that they were progressive. No, they were pretty traditional. They got engaged very quickly.
When was the wedding?
Oh, well, it was in August of 2022. It was this gorgeous week-long affair. I had one of those myself. His name was Giuseppe.
What was the wedding itself like?
Beautiful. You know, they wrote these lovely vows. There was rose petals, doves, and they even had a Supreme Court justice presiding. And not the one you're thinking.
Do you happen to know if the two of them signed a prenup before they got married?
Oh yeah, I was there.
What was that meeting like?
Oh. Well, you know, it was a lot of legal talk. You know, I didn't find it very interesting, but you would.
Well, let me ask then, do you happen to remember any of the specific things they agreed to in that prenup?
Oh, yeah, sure. There was some things about financial disclosure, division of assets, and making sure that they weren't going to cheat on each other.
Do you remember what the defendant said when he agreed he wouldn't cheat?
Yeah. Listening. It gets juicy. No more secrets. I promise.
Let's see if the defendant kept that promise.
Oh, that's good.
What did you see of his personal life after they got married?
Oh, too much. Like, who eats a tomato whole? The only limit to my personal knowledge was his little weekend trips.
What do you mean, weekend trips?
Well, exactly what I just said. He would go on trips over the weekend, but he would disappear, you know, without a call, not a text. I mean, it was Giuseppe all over again. And, you know, even his wife started coming in to complain about it.
Miss Bully would ask you about these trips?
Oh, yeah. She would come into the office and I would just type away on my computer, move my mouse a little, look at the schedule, and nothing. I would have to lie to her.
When the defendant got back from these trips, would he tell you where he had been?
No. All he did was just shove me his suitcase and I would handle it.
What do you mean you would handle it?
Well, first things first was the laundry. You know, and there was this cheap perfume I didn't recognize. And, you know, I would find his wedding ring at the bottom of his bag.
What about the defendant himself? What did he look like after he got back from these trips?
Oh, God, a mess. You know, this one time he came back and he had a bruise on his neck. So I asked him, did you burn yourself with your Cohen iron? But then I offered him some concealer.
What did you tell his wife?
Nothing. I wanted to keep my job. I lied.
Did you ever stop covering for the defendant?
You know what? Yeah, I did. One time he came back, I stormed into his office and I demanded to know what was going on, where he was going, and that I would walk if he didn't tell me.
Did he tell you?
No. After all those years of service for him, he refused. So I quit.
Thank you, Ms. Lee.
Absolutely.
Pass the witness.
All right, Cross?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Lee.
Good morning. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking.
Absolutely.
I just want to start by talking about why you decided to testify today. Because I'm right in saying that it was your decision, right?
Yes, sir, that's true. I'm here voluntarily.
No subpoena.
No, sir.
No one compelled you to testify.
You're right.
You're testifying by choice.
Of course.
You chose to testify for Miss Bully, correct?
Yeah. What Tristan did to her, it was wrong.
So I'm just going to ask you straight up. What is your reason for coming in today?
To make sure that Ellie gets what she deserves.
Hold on, you're using the words what she deserves. Would more accurate words be to make sure the plaintiff gets her payday?
Yes, sir. That's what she deserves after what Tristan did to her.
I want to spend a little bit more time on this so the jury really understands what's going on here.
Sure, I got
Miss
nothing
Lee,
but it.
your only reason for being here today is to make sure Miss Bully gets paid, right?
Yes, sir, that's what I just said.
Well, you actually were struggling to find a job before, right?
Yeah, you know what? Drag queen doesn't really get you very far.
Well, that was until Miss Bully hired you.
Yeah, as an art apprentice, I get to critique her work.
You actually feel like you owe her, don't you?
Sure.
Well, now you're here to return the favor.
I'm sorry?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you don't just think of testifying today as a chance to share what you know about her relationship with her husband, right?
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. You're gonna have to be more specific.
I will be more specific.
Oh,
You
okay.
think of testifying today as an opportunity to get the best possible settlement for Miss Bully. Those would be your words, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, but it's not just her that her money's going to affect, is it?
Again, sir, you're gonna have to be more specific.
You just told us she hired you as an art apprentice, right?
Yeah.
Usually an unpaid job.
Oh, from my previous experience, sure.
Oh, but this experience is paid, right?
It is.
She's paying you.
Yeah.
But she actually let you know before the trial started that she was having some money problems, right?
Well, that's true.
She also told you that if she didn't find money elsewhere, she wouldn't be able to pay you anymore.
She did tell me there was a possibility.
Okay, so when you say you're here to help her get her payday is your salary.
Oh, well, I never really thought of it that way. Well, sure.
I want to talk about some of the claims you made on direct examination and see how much weight the jury should really be giving them, okay?
Oh,
On
okay.
direct examination, you said you smelled a cheap perfume on Mr. Nichols that you didn't recognize, right?
Yeah, it was all over his clothes.
Well, that can happen when, I don't know, a person starts wearing a new cologne, right?
Tristan Nichols is a man. I know I do it for fun, but, you know, he does.
Well, I mean, you do it for fun. You know, men, women, they can all wear cologne, right?
Well, sure, that's a pretty masculine woman, just like myself.
Well, I want to be very clear about something, Miss Lee. You actually don't know where that perfume came from.
I don't.
I mean, I know you're saying you don't recognize it, but you can't tell us that that perfume belonged to anybody other than Mr. Nichols.
No, just that I didn't recognize it.
On direct examination, you also told us that you would find Mr. Nichols' wedding ring in his suitcase, right?
Yeah, he had a pretty bad habit of doing that.
Okay, well, suitcase, he was traveling, right?
Well, sure.
Well, I mean, do you know how expensive that ring is?
No, I don't.
Well, it would be safe to say that someone might not want to lose a valuable wedding ring while they're traveling, right?
I guess.
And you actually cannot tell us why that wedding ring was in his suitcase, can you?
No, just that when he would come back from those mysterious weekend trips, he didn't have it on.
Okay, well, on these mysterious weekend trips, you said you noticed a bruise on his neck, right?
I did.
You cannot tell us where that bruise came from.
No.
At the end of the day, Miss Lee, you were not on these trips.
I wasn't.
I mean, you just admitted on your direct examination that these weekend trips are a limit to your personal knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. He
They're-
wouldn't tell anybody where he was going.
Right, they're a limit because you don't know what he was doing on those trips.
No,
You don't know who he was with.
I don't.
You can't tell us that he was ever with a person named Gail Melky, can you?
No, I can't.
And actually, when he was away on these trips, you would have to cover for him, right?
I would.
You would have to send text messages on his behalf,
I would from his iPad.
right? Emails on his behalf.
Yeah, that's true.
That means you had access to his text messages.
Well, yeah, I was his personal assistant.
It means you had access to his emails.
Sure.
Just told us you had access to his iPad.
I did.
You didn't find any text messages to someone other than Miss Bully, did you?
No.
No emails indicating that he was cheating on Miss Bully.
No, that'd be quite odd.
And you never overheard any phone calls of that nature either, did you?
No, I didn't.
Thank you, Miss Lee. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor. May Miss Lee take her seat.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, go to
Next
sit.
witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls Mr. Naresh Saliver to stand.
Excuse me, good sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Could you please introduce yourself to our jury?
Good morning. My name is Nourish Sullivan. It's nice to meet you all.
What do you do for work?
I'm a photographer. I take photos of celebrities. I like to tell my kids I'm the Papa Razzi. My wife doesn't find it funny either.
So, sir, how's that? Is it a hard job?
It can be. But that's why I wear disguises, to blend in.
So help me out. What kind of disguises have you worn?
You know the Taylor Swift wedding?
I heard about it.
Were you there?
Can't say I was.
Well, I was. My boss told me if I wore a Knicks jersey, I could get in for my resemblance to the New York City man. But I didn't get it. Rudy Giuliani doesn't have a beard.
So, sir, what about today? Are you trying to blend in at a tennis court later?
No. Pickleball. I don't play sports.
Well, then, sir, I want to talk about what you're doing in this court. Do you know someone named Tristan Nichols?
Yeah, I know him.
How do you know him?
I would take photos of Tristan and the Nichols family for many years.
What about Miss Bully? Do you know her?
Yeah, I know her too. I met her on several occasions.
Well, then I want to talk about the relationship between Mr. Nichols and Miss Bully. So how did you first learn about Mr. Nichols and his wife?
Tristan's assistant had called me with a job offer.
What was the offer?
She said that Tristan was seeing this person named Eli Bully, and she asked me to sell the relationship.
Objection, Your Honor, to hearsay.
Response.
Yes, Your Honor. This is statements from the personal assistant of Tristan Nichols. Falls into the party opponent exception.
Last response.
Your Honor, they need foundation that Miss Lee, when making this call, was acting on behalf of Mr. Nichols, that was an instruction that she had received. That foundation isn't on the record yet.
Response.
Last response.
We've already heard the foundation. It was the assistant. Furthermore, Your Honor, we're not using this for its truth. We're just using this for its subsequent action. That after hearing these statements, he decided to take these photos.
Overruled.
So, sir, what was the offer? What did the assistant say?
Oh, she asked me to sell the relationship.
So after she asked you to sell the relationship, did you accept?
I did.
So how exactly would you take photos to sell the relationship?
Oh, well, I would help stage candid photos of them, and then we would share them with the press.
I want to show the jury exactly how you would do that. So, sir, right now, do you think you could show us exactly how you'd go about staging these photos?
Sure.
All right, so use me as your prop. What do you need me to do?
Could you just go over to that fellow over there? He looks kind of nice.
This guy? Yeah. All right. Sir, I'm there. What do you need?
Actually, why don't you take out your wallet? Yeah.
All right.
And just give it to him.
Okay, here you go.
Right there, boss. So I would take a photo at that point.
So, sir, what kind of story would you run with a photo like this?
For this one, I could run lawyer with bad haircut, steals wallet from nice man.
Sir, is that all? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good. You can have your wallet.
All right, I want to do another example for the members of the jury. So how else could you help stage these photos?
You can make two people look closer than they are. Yeah.
So walk me through it. How would you do that?
Do you know that woman over there?
The woman on her laptop back there?
Yeah, her face is kind of lit up. Yeah.
I've never met her before.
Perfect. Why don't you just go over to her?
All right. Is right here good?
Yeah, that's great. I think I left a half-eaten tomato and a Starbucks drink under there. Do you mind grabbing them for me?
Under here?
Yeah, under the bench.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Oh, wait, stop right there. And here's, again, where I would take the photo.
So what would you caption a photo like this one?
Well, for this one, I could run lawyer proposes to longtime girlfriend in lamest proposal ever. And everyone goes, "Aw." See, there we go.
All right, sir. Now that we understand how exactly you'd stage these photos, I want to talk about the photos you'd stage for Mr. Nichols and Miss Bullock.
Okay.
So how would you do that for the couple?
It was pretty much the same thing. I would have take stage photos of them, and then, we would try to make it look like more of a love marriage. Yeah.
So how many times did you do it? Did you do it often?
Yeah, all the time.
Could you give the jury an example of you helping stage these photos?
Sure. One time, Tristan and Eli were at a furniture store. So, I took photos of them looking at furniture.
So what story did you run with the photos of them just looking at furniture?
Well, of course, we ran that they were buying a new house.
Did you see them buy a new house?
No.
I mean, did you even see them buy that furniture?
No.
Well, sir, I want to see if it was just photos that that couple staged. Do you know if Mr. Nichols and Miss Nichols and Mr. Bully ever got engaged?
Yeah. I was there when they had suggested the idea to Tristan's mother. They asked the mother for permission.
Where were they?
It was at lunch. It was the hottest restaurant in all of Marauder. Literally, there was no air conditioning. Who does that?
So when they asked Mrs. Nichols, how'd she react?
Oh, well, she hugged Eli, nice hug, and said Eli was like the daughter she never had.
Well, what about after Mrs. Nichols left? How'd the couple react then?
Oh, Eli just goes to Tristan and was like, "You did a good job. Mrs. Nichols doesn't suspect a thing."
So what about after the engagement? Did the staging stop then?
No.
What else did you see?
There was a meeting where they were discussing their prenup. Yeah. And two of them were arguing. Ellie was crying. It was intense. And I've seen intense.
So at this meeting to discuss the prenup, who else was there?
Some other people, lawyers mostly.
So after the arguing started, what happened?
Lawyers, they just all left until Ellie and then Tristan were in the room.
So sir, when everyone else had left, and it was just Ellie and Tristan in the room, how did they react then?
Ellie immediately just stopped crying, and the two of them, they start laughing, And then Ellie says, they were thinking that the marriage would be a little too perfect, relationship would be a little too perfect, so they staged a fake fight.
Well, thank you, sir. We've got nothing further at this time.
Okay, Ross?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sullivan, it's fair to say today is not your first time covering for this defendant.
No, and good morning.
Good morning, sir. It's actually been your job for years to cover for him, right?
All right, I would help with his image all the time.
You're saying help with his image. Let's be specific, sir. Because
Okay.
you're a member of the paparazzi, right?
I am.
Normally, you try to expose celebrity scandals, right?
Right?
But you make an exception for this defendant, right?
All right, I've covered some photos for him.
You bury his scandals, right?
Right?
It's your job to keep his scandals secret.
All right, that's what he would pay me for. Yeah.
You said on direct examination, one photo you might caption is nice lawyer giving money away, right?
Oh yeah, nice lawyer with a bad haircut. Yeah.
I'm gonna read you another caption. Tell me if it sounds familiar.
Okay.
CEO Tristan Nichols caught blackout drunk.
Yeah, that's familiar.
It's a photo you took.
Yeah.
It's a photo this defendant paid you to delete.
Oh yeah, his family paid me to delete the photo.
So now you're here today testifying on behalf of this defendant, right?
Right, I'm here on the defense, that's right.
Sir, the defendant has been paying you for years to cover his scandals, right?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Your Honor, we haven't gotten into the payment yet. That's what we're going into.
Okay, we're gonna let this one rest.
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant has been paying you for years to cover his scandals.
He paid me a couple years ago to cover up some photos, but that's been it.
Sir, he pays you to this day.
No?
Sir, is it your testimony that the money you get from the Nichols family isn't your income?
The money I get from the Nichols family.
Sir, it's your testimony that you don't get paid from the Nichols family. That's what you're saying today?
Not to cover any photos now, no, that was in the past.
Sir, you recognize your affidavit, right?
Yeah, I would.
Your Honor, permission to approach the witness with the copy of his affidavit.
Sure.
Approaching closing counsel. Approaching the witness. Mr. Sullivan, right here, we got your sworn testimony, right?
Yeah.
You were under oath when you wrote this statement, right?
You got it.
The same oath you're under today.
I am.
If you could read along silently as I read aloud, starting from line 13. My pictures offer insight into the public's parasocial relationship with the glitterati. It also pays really well, letting me pay off my student loans from Belmont University in just a few years. Nothing paid as well, however, as my work with the Nichols family. I read that correctly?
Yeah, paid. Past tense.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay, specifically improper impeachment.
Your Honor, he testified that he's not being paid. It's a contradiction that he has been paid.
I'm gonna let the testimony rest and the jury can just believe what they prefer out of this. Go on.
Yes, Your Honor.
So now you're here today, sir. It's your testimony that you never saw any evidence of this defendant cheating, right?
No, I didn't see that.
Let's see if that story makes sense, sir.
Okay.
Because you've been following this defendant around for years, right?
Yeah.
You would stake outside buildings,
Oh yeah, in my disguises.
listen in on private lunches.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, you were so close with the defendant, you would sit in on meetings between him and these attorneys, right?
Yeah, I don't know if all of these guys were there, but yeah.
You would say you captured every moment of his life on camera.
The major moments, yeah, every moment, yeah. Every moment I could.
But when he's accused of cheating, well, now you don't know where he's going on these weekend trips, right?
No, I wasn't invited.
Now that he's accused of cheating, you don't know who he's going on his private jet with.
No, I was never invited to the PJ.
You were invited on other international trips, right?
Right, not the PJ.
But around 2025, you stopped going on those getaways with him, right?
That's right, sir.
Sir, your claim today is that you found no evidence of him cheating whatsoever, right?
Right, I didn't see that.
Sir, you found a photo of Gail Melky in his wallet.
Right.
You'd recognize that photo?
I would, sir.
If you could flip to exhibit 6SA. Sorry, you had it wrong. 6SA, right?
Yeah, I got it.
She looks nice.
You know that's a woman named Gail Melky, right?
Yeah.
That's a person that the defendant he had dated in the past.
Yeah, that's how.
They broke up publicly in 2021.
Huh?
You found this photo in his wallet in 2025.
Yeah, September of 2025, that's right.
Let's talk about why you're so insistent that's not evidence of cheating, sir.
Okay.
Because the defendant, he hasn't just paid you, he's threatened you.
Oh yeah, he sued me like a couple years ago. Part of the reason why I don't like him that much.
He sued you for stalking?
Yeah,
Sued you for wiretapping?
he did.
He threatened to have his DA friends press criminal charges.
Yeah, I had to learn and Google what DA is the next day.
Criminal charges, that's yes, sir?
Right.
But all that got dropped when you started working for him.
Right. I made a deal with his assistant.
But then this year, these attorneys, they called you up again, right?
They did.
They said those charges, they might be coming back.
Right. They said the deal with the assistant was somehow invalid. So I was like, what?
But before they hung up the phone, sir, they said, help us out in this trial, and all will be forgiven.
Yeah. They asked if I knew anything about Tristan and Eli, and they said if you help us out, all will be forgiven. You got it.
That's a yes to my question, sir. Help us out in trial, and we won't sue you.
Yeah. Help us out? Yeah, that's right.
Pass the witness.
Fast. Redirect, Your Honor.
All right.
Good morning again, sir.
Good morning.
Now, a few moments ago, you were asked about your work with the Nichols family. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Specifically, you were asked about when you were paid by them. Do you remember that?
I do.
So just so we're clear for the jury, could you remind us exactly when the Nichols family paid you and when they didn't pay you?
Yeah, of course. You know, they paid me when I was taking, scandalous photos of Tristan, and, he was at bars and at the club and stuff. And I covered those up. And they paid me for that. That was it.
So to be very clear, does his family still pay you?
No. And if he is paying me, where's the money?
Well, thank you, sir. You've got nothing further.
Okay.
No recross, Your Honor.
Thank you so much. You may step down, sir.
Thank you.
I think at this time, are we just going to take some time to
Yes,
score?
judges, you can go ahead and score, finish up your ballots, and let us know when you've submitted them.